Hi, welcome to the Daddy Curbs farm. In this video, I'm going to talk about this fence that I just finished, and I'm going to show you how I built this gate. Now, some people might find it a little bit weird that I'm putting a gate between my neighbor's place and our farm. Well, we like our neighbors, and I also would like to have a way to get some equipment behind the fence so I can help maintain that little strip of land that my fence sits on. This space behind the fence right now is very clear because we did a lot of work to clear this out and to build up this soil. But it wouldn't be too long here in Texas for all of this to become overgrown, looking more like this. We would just like to be able to maintain this space so it looks nice from our side and helps our neighbors out just a little bit by keeping this spot cleared out. This fence started by running a string line, a fluorescent string line, from one end to the other. Once that string line was nice and straight and tight, I used some spray paint to mark the string line so it would be on the ground for a few weeks, and then I measured where all of my posts were going to go, every 10 feet in this case, which helped me guide my neighbor as he brought over a skid steer with auger. And now we're gonna go and get fence holes dug. Have you ever been so excited about fence holes? And we drilled these holes, making it a lot easier to get this project going because digging in this clay soil is not easy. Once all those holes were dug, I put a post solid in one corner and then down at the other end. I ran a string line between those two posts, which allowed me to be able to line up all of the posts between them, making them nice and straight. Those posts were packed in solid with gravel, a type of gravel that settles in real tight once it's been watered in, and it's near as tough as concrete. The next step was to put this wire on. This is a 60-inch tall, 2-inch by 4-inch that measures the openings in the fence itself, 2 inches wide by 4 inches tall. It's a welded wire fence. I got that run from one end to the other. Mama Curbs helped me to pull it tight so I could staple it in place. This provided a really nice grid work of sorts for me to line up the horizontal boards. I could line those right up with one of those wire lines on the fence. In this case, the top board was lined up with that second wire, and then chose another one toward the middle and one at the bottom. The boards are not perfectly level. They actually follow the contour of the ground. You can see here they kind of run uphill. That grid work of the fence made it really easy to follow that contour because the fence followed the contour first. Now back to the subject of the video, which is the gate. We used the corner post as one side of the gate, put in another 10-foot post buried at 3 feet deep, and put the horizontals across the top, tying them together, making it very strong. I sunk one 6x6 treated board down as sort of a threshold. Finished this off. I'm missing one board. That's coming soon. And now we're going to build a small gate that's going to go in here just to give us a way to keep the horses and cows and dogs on the proper side of the fence. Then we'll figure out a latch system that my neighbors and I can both use. Okay, enough chatting about that fence. Let's get over here and do a little bit of construction for a simple gate. The gate that I'm building will be a fairly simple design. It'll be 57 inches tall, 35 inches wide, all 2x4 construction with a 2x4 across the top, across the bottom, down the sides. I'll be putting a second 2x4 from the top, also from the bottom, and I'll use the fence wire over the top of that, and then 1x4s layered on top of the 2x4s, helping to tie it all together. I did say this was going to be a simple gate. I've been accused of overbuilding some things, so this one may be a little more complicated than it really needs to be. But it's the design that's in my head, and I'm going to try to actually make it for real. I started by cutting the boards that I needed. A top piece at 35, a bottom piece at 35, and then the two sides are 50 inches because the top together with the bottom equals 7. I want the entire length to be 57 inches. So two side pieces at 50, and then a couple of shorter pieces at 31 that I'm going to notch in and fit. The first horizontal that's getting notched in is at 10 inches from the top. The second one is 15 inches from the bottom. For right now, I'm finding where bottom of the board will be and making this distance the same on both sides. Once I get that distance correct, I'm drawing a pencil line around to know where to notch. I'm going to set the blade depth on my saw to equal the depth that needs to be notched out. I'll use a square to make my straight lines where I marked my board. Now that that's all cut in grooves, I can notch that out. And several minutes later, I have 4 notches, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. Hopefully I did that right and the boards fit and everything's good. I'll be holding the structure together with ledger bolts. They're going to go down through here as well as in the inboards this direction. Before I put a bolt through here, I'm going to use a paddle bit to countersink those heads. That paddle bit just made just enough of a recession that when I put this in, that head will sink right below the surface. We have all 4 sides put in. We got 2 ledger bolts on the end of each. So this is a very sturdy, almost halfway done gate. Those ends are going to simply be put on. This is just laying up there right now. It looks like I did my math right. They're lining up edge to edge. We're going to put 2 ledger bolts through this direction. Same down here on this end, 2 more, and then we'll put that bottom piece on the same way. With the bottom and the top and everything attached, I'm going to go get some wire to lay on. We'll get that stapled on and then we'll finish it off with 1x4s. Now we have the wire on, completely encapsulated with the 2x4 and the 1x4 over the top. This is ready to be hung on the gate. Now it's time to mount the hardware, the gate hardware. And now we try to figure out how to hang it. It's kind of heavy, and I only have 2 hands. I will use a ledger bolt for anchoring it into the post because, like I said, it's kind of heavy and I want to make sure it's strong enough. Now the trick is going to be finding a latch system that works for both them and us. Not sure what that's going to be yet, but I'm pretty happy with how the gate looks and opens and shuts. Alright, a few finishing touches. I put a blocker board here to help when I shut this gate. I'm on the other side right now. It'll hit and not go too far, preventing undue stress on the hinges. Also, I decided for now, until I figure it out, I'm going to use this chain. It has a little clasp on it. I can simply reach over the top of the gate, put the chain through. I admit that part's not pretty, but until I can get something more secure, it'll keep the dogs and the horses on the correct side of the fence. Here on the Daddy Curbs farm, I believe that everyone has a story and every story counts. I believe your story counts because you count. Thank you so much for being a part of my story through this video and letting me be a part of yours. I'll talk to you soon.